Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
That is the question. I mean, personally, I think the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, like the actual card game itself, I think that's better than the Pokemon game. I mean, I played the Pokemon card game as a kid. When I first got the cards, I actually taught myself how to play it. And when you bought the first starter deck, I think it came with like a CD-ROM. I mean, I can imagine kids today are going to be like, "What the fuck's a CD-ROM?" But it had like a Pokemon trading card game, and I remember getting that with my first set of cards, and basically it taught you through how to play the card game. And I remember thinking, "Oh, this is amazing." Then I discovered the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, and the actual game itself. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is 10 times better.
So much easier to understand.
I think it's
as well.
I think it's a lot more complicated, especially now with like the bloody pendulum and fusion monsters and all that. But as a game, I think the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is better. What do you think?
Playing wise, Yu-Gi-Oh wins it every single time. Now, I don't know about now, because I feel like those people who learnt Pokemon they're probably obviously disagree with me because they know how to play it. But I feel like it got to the point where Yu-Gi-Oh just was known, people knew how to play it. Whereas Pokemon, it took years for people to understand it. So I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh was definitely picked up easier than Pokemon. And I feel like the cards themselves looked better to play with. When you stick down a Blue Eyes White Dragon compared to a Weedle, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, even if you use a Dragonite, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, they just looked like nicer.
But they look like proper monsters, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I would agree with that, and I would say the artwork as well is much better on Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the detail, especially on the newer ones, is nice.
It's insane, isn't it?
The holos looked better a little. Well, the holographics looked, but I wouldn't say they're always better, but for the most part, the holographics on a Red Eyes Black Dragon looked really nice, for example.
Yeah. No, for certain.
They're good artists.
I mean, yeah, in terms of, if you want to talk about collecting the cards, and which cards give me more nostalgia, it's Pokemon cards. But in terms of like an actual game, I would say the card battle, like the battle of the best cards, has to go to Yu-Gi-Oh, I would say. And that might be a bit of a...
No, I think collecting-wise, Pokemon's definitely more desirable.
Yeah.
But playing-wise, I mean, I remember you were trying to rope me into playing Yu-Gi-Oh during sixth form. I was like, no, Sam.
That's not what happened. We were both talking about, oh, do you remember Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, I've still got my deck. And you were like, oh, wow, so have I. And then we agreed to go into one of the closed science rooms during lunch, didn't we?
When I was supposed to finish up my A-levels.
Yeah, instead we were having a Yu-Gi-Oh battle. And I remember Mr. Cummins, the old science teacher, walking in and going, oh dear, no. What are you doing?
Unfortunate last name for a teacher.
Mr. Cummings. Yeah.
But
nice guy he was. He was a nice guy.
Yeah. And I'm sure he would agree with me when I say that Yu-Gi-Oh was more playable.
Yeah. All right, so first of all then, are we saying the Yu-Gi-Oh cards take it?
I would say
they take the first battle.
Yu-Gi-Oh's more playable by a long shot.
Yeah, I would agree.
But Pokemon is more collectible by a long shot.
Okay, but if you had to pick one card game, what would the card game be? Like playing it?
Yu-Gi-Oh. Fucking hell.
So, okay, all right. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
I would agree with that. And then the next thing is obviously the video games, because there's loads of Yu-Gi-Oh video games as well. So
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
Pokemon games are incredible, aren't they? They are amazing.
I will say, Yu-Gi-Oh has had some good games. Like, there was one called Duelist of the Roses.
Yeah.
And it took the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but it made it more like 3D, and it was more like moving pieces around a board, like chess. It wasn't based on the actual rules of the game. It was just a decent game to play. And the idea being that each duelist had an avatar. So Grandpa Moto, for example, had Exodia, and the idea being that you'd fight with these pieces across the board to get to the key piece of Exodia. And there was always sort of like traps along the way, and people could put stuff down, and that was a really good game. I really got into that one.
Duelist of the Roses. Okay.
Duelist of the Roses, yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and this one at the moment
Legacy of the Duelist, sorry.
Legacy of the Duelist, yeah. So I've got Legacy of the Duelist and I've had Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Those two were they are the card game on computer, whereas Duels of the Roses was a different game. I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
And there was one on the PlayStation 1 called Forbidden something Kingdom, I think. But the games have always been based around the cards, whereas Pokemon, the games were more than just the Pokemon.
They took it to the next level.
It became a world. It became a world of a kid or whoever searching for and becoming a Pokemon master in it. You know,
nerd.
I loved it. I
loved it.
Honestly, like the game felt really fleshed out. So Yu-Gi-Oh has a very minor hold on games, if I'm honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's based around a card game. The whole premise of that show, I guess, is a card game. So I guess they had to make the card game really good. Whereas Pokemon is actually based around. I think they based that around the anime, didn't they? The idea was they based everything around the anime, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, you think of the Pokemon world it's the Pokemon and the character you play are all in the same world. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, the world he's in is just based around
cards,
a card game which don't exist.
Yeah, and the Pokemon games, we talk about them so often, so I won't go on too much. But that is my childhood. You ask me one thing from my childhood, like to summarise my childhood, and I would just say Pokemon. Like that game. I don't even want to know, like, combined how much time we've put into those games. Like it's got to be thousands of hours. It has to be.
I spent a long time on Emerald, and I spent even longer on
Soul Silver.
Yeah, and those were the two key ones for me. I found them really, really interesting. I found Emerald was playable for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's just such a good game, isn't it? It had everything. It had the story was pretty decent, but it was. People say, oh, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
To me, the Pokemon RPGs kind of bring that to life, because it's about your journey to the Elite Four, and the fun part isn't getting to the Elite Four and beating Lance. The fun part is you're picking your team, training them up, building your team essentially, and that's the journey. That's the fun part of those games.
Well, there are moments where it's almost like the unpredictability as well. If you're in an area and you're looking for a specific Pokemon, or and you're in the area and you keep getting commons come up, and you hang around, you want to find that. And you're there, you don't know which, and all of a sudden when it pops up and the battle screen kicks in, you think, "Fucking, there's the one I've got to try and get." Like, there's a bit more of like a unpredictability about it,
No, for certain.
And you are hunting as well. You are going out your way to find these things and get your team and build them up and all that sort of stuff.
There's so many ways to play it. That's the thing. You could rush it and then explore at the end, or you could take your time and explore from the beginning. You could build your team around the HMs, so they could just be a bunch of HM slaves, like for cut and that. Or you could put some real thought into what team you're going to use based on the gym leaders, and it's just such a good game. It's a great way to introduce kids into RPGs as well, because that springboarded me into kind of Final Fantasy and things like that growing up.
Yu-Gi-Oh had me hooked on the anime all the way up to the end of Battle City with Merrick. It was all about the God cards and the end of Battle City tournament and the prophecy and stuff. And even on season 1, I was hooked with Pegasus and
Kaiba.
The outcome of Kaiba and stuff. And so I was really into that. But when I was watching Pokemon, every episode seemed to be something different. So there was none of this maybe on the odd occasion there was like a continuation episode, but it was very rare. Usually the stories started and ended. So he'd go out looking for a Squirtle and he'd do something for the town, then all of a sudden the Squirtle would become his Pokemon type of thing.
Every episode was like an adventure, wasn't it?
Yeah, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, it was a bit more of like a marathon feeling to it.
Yeah.
But a battle could go on for 10 episodes, especially towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
The movies, obviously there's only a few movies in Yu-Gi-Oh, but the movies for Pokemon are far better already. So I'd say movies up all the way up to 3 are amazing. After that, I watched Mewtwo Returns, and that was it. And so I don't know about the new ones, but the Yu-Gi-Oh the newest movie was pretty good, but it didn't make me feel like the Pokemon movies. I'd say I remember being more into the Yu-Gi-Oh. I'd say Yu-Gi-Oh.
You really? Wow.
I'd say
I'm
Yu-Gi-Oh,
shocked.
and I'd say the movies are better for Pokemon, but I'd say the anime was better for Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm shocked, mate. I'm shocked. So for me, with the anime, there's some real standout memories. You got like when obviously Ash first gets Pikachu and he doesn't want to go in the Pokeball, and
Yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah.
yeah, and when Ash gets attacked by the Spearow, when Pikachu gets attacked by the Spearows and Ash saves him and stuff like that, and then you got the whole Brock wanting to bang Misty joke going on, and the Squirtle squad. There's just so many standout parts of the Pokemon anime. I think take it for me. Yu-Gi-Oh has some great moments. Don't get me wrong. I've forgotten a lot of them because that's something I've not really rewatched much. The only thing I didn't like about Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not necessarily a bad point. It's just it made me laugh because they changed the rules completely in the anime.
Oh yeah, but that's fine because
Yeah,
they introduced it in Battle City on an episode.
Okay, well, so they started to follow it properly then in Battle City.
Well, no, because even it was two different tournaments. One was Duelist Kingdom, which didn't have. You had these like each battle, so it had like a different field advantage and stuff, and that was just based around types.
Yeah.
Whereas Battle City was more based around sacrificing the monster to summon stronger monsters, and that sort of brought it more in line with the game, I suppose, at the time. The thing I was going to ask you, like, so you mentioned your Pokemon episodes there, Spearow and the Squirtle Squad stuff, and they're the same ones I remember. But I can't tell you anything past the first series.
So
I remember.
Did you not watch
Magmar
Johto?
Versus? Yeah, I did. That's the thing.
Pokemon Johto, because that's series 2, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, like you mentioned episodes like the Spearow and the Squirtle ones.
That's the first series.
Name some from Johto that you remember.
I remember there's a bit in a field when he gets Sentret, for example. It's true what you say. I mean, the standout anime for me is Pokemon, but then it's the first series. I would agree with that. I kind of stopped watching the anime after Johto, and that's still going now.
Yeah, I did as well. I stopped watching after Johto, and so I can't tell you. I can't even remember any episodes from Johto. The most memorable episode for me in Pokemon is the first one, and where Charizard versus Magmar, and he does the seismic toss.
That's quality, yeah. Is the Yu-Gi-Oh anime still on?
No, it finished about 10 years ago, I think.
But I'm sure have they not revisited it, because there's some new characters now.
No, they've not revisited it. Sorry, are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about different series of Yu-Gi-Oh, aren't you? You're talking about
There's loads of different series now.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't watch it past Yugi and Joey and stuff.
Yeah,
but I played the games since then, so I know the rules, but I don't know the new characters.
Yeah, because I think they still show it on one of these 4Kids channels at the minute, but it's completely new characters now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The first series of Yu-Gi-Oh lasted about 4 generations of Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, purely for nostalgic reasons, I would say the Pokemon anime takes it for me, and you're saying for you it's Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah?
It's because I remember it more.
Yeah, this is really interesting, because now we're at a stalemate.
Well, no, I mean, I think you probably remember Yu-Gi-Oh better than Pokemon.
Well, let's find out, mate. You've got a quiz, haven't you? Let's find out.
All right, we'll do the first Pokemon quiz, and then we'll do a Yu-Gi-Oh quiz, and at the end we'll do totals. All right,
that sounds good.
Totals.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Right, I'm interested to see how you do, because before we did stuff like Lord of the Rings quizzes, and I gave you a bit of leeway because maybe you weren't so much of a fan, whereas Pokemon, I don't see any excuse. All right, so here we go. First question. What is Ash Ketchum's hometown called?
Pallet Town.
Correct. In Generation 2, name the 2 newly introduced Pokemon types.
Steel and Dark?
Yep, correct.
Nice. Okay, right, nice. I wasn't too sure about Dark.
How many O's are there in Sudowoodo?
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's a good question. There's obviously one after the pseudo. Is it SUDOWOODO? So is that 1, 2, 4?
Correct.
Is it? I wasn't sure if it was pseudo Wudo or pseudo Woodo. Nice. Okay.
In the anime, explain how a Slowpoke evolves into a Slowbro.
So I seem to remember. Isn't it something to do with a cloister biting his tail?
Is that your answer?
Am I off? I think it's something to do with a cloister biting his tail.
Is that your answer?
I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
It is about a Shelder biting a Slowbro's tail to become.
Shit.
Cloister being the evolution of Shelder,
Yeah.
but you're close. Very close. So you got 3 out of 4 at the moment. Okay, question 5. Swampert is the final evolution of which starter Pokemon?
Mudkip.
Correct. What is the last line in the anime of the Team Rocket intro?
Oh, that's a good question here. That's a good question. Make it double. Isn't it Meowth? No, Surrender reach stars above. Blast of the spirit. Isn't it Meowth? Are you including that Meowth? That's right.
What's your answer, Sam?
Well, it's either one of them goes prepare to fight, and then I think at the end Meowth goes Meowth. I'm gonna say Meowth. That's right.
Correct.
Is it actually that?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh shit.
What is the first evolution of Beedrill?
Is a Weedle.
In the Game Boy games, which type is super effective against dragons?
Dragon. There's 2. There's Ice and Dragon.
Yes, correct. Yeah. What is the evolution of Torchic?
So Torchic evolves into a Combusken, and then a Combusken evolves into a Blaziken.
And lastly, name the Kanto region gym leaders.
Ah, that's a good question. Right, so first up, you got Brock, who's obviously the rock type gym. So Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, Erica, Koga, Sabrina, Blaine, and Giovanni.
Correct, yeah.
Oh!
9 out of 10 on the Pokemon quiz.
So that Pokemon, the Slowbro one, what threw me off was, I was thinking it's a Shelder, because Shelders are smaller than Cloyster, but then I was thinking, no, Shelders are purple, so it's got to be Cloyster. But, you can't win them all.
So you got 9 out of 10.
I'll take that.
The Yu-Gi-Oh quiz begins now, alright?
This is going to be tough.
What is the name of Seto Kaiba's little brother?
Oh, fuck. Well, his surname's definitely Kaiba. Isn't it Moku? Mocha?
What's your answer, Sam?
I'm going to say... It's not Matthew, is it? It's an M. I'm going to say Moku. Moki.
Alright.
Moki.
Alright.
Moki.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm going to give you that because his name's Mokuba. So I'll give you that.
Oh,
that's close.
I don't know if I can have that. I missed some
Yeah, you
letters
will.
off.
I'll give you that one. That's close.
Alright, fair enough.
How many Blue Eyes White Dragons does it take to make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon?
I think it's 3.
You think or you know?
3. 3's the answer.
Alright, yeah, correct. What do I make if I use polymerization on Time Wizard and Baby Dragon?
Oh, isn't it 1,000-Year Dragon? Oh fuck. I think it's 1,000. I think it's 1,000 Dragon.
Is that your answer?
I think it's 1,000 Dragon. I'm gonna say 1,000 Dragon.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 1,000 Dragon.
So what threw me off was I thought obviously 10,000 Dragons in the latest set we've been playing.
Yeah.
So that threw me off a little bit.
All right, you got 3 out of 3 so far.
Okay.
What is the effect of the Swords of Revealing Light?
Swords of Revealing Light. Doesn't that mean that players can't... Doesn't it flip... I think it means the enemy can't attack for 3 turns.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Oh, but doesn't it also flip the cards up as well if they're face down?
It does, yeah. Yeah, correct, mate. Correct, 4 out of 4. Out of the 7 Millennium items,
okay,
can you please name 4 of them?
Alright, so off the top of my head, you got the Millennium Rod. You got the Millennium Eye. I mean, there's a necklace that Yugi wears. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Millennium Necklace. I don't know if that counts. Do you accept that one as a third one?
Keep going.
Okay, right. So I'm going to say necklace, rod, eye, Oh shit! What's the ball thing? There's like a sphere. There's like a crown jewel. It's like a sphere with a little cross thing on the top. I'm gonna say Millennium Sphere. So rod, eye, necklace, and sphere. I know rod and eye are definite. I probably got the other two wrong.
Right. so, so the one you got wrong is the Millennium Sphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it called?
The Millennium. That's the Millennium Eye.
Is it?
Yeah. So the one Yu-Gi-Oh wears is the Millennium Puzzle.
Puzzle. That's what I was thinking of. The necklace. Oh, but there's necklace as well.
Isis wears the necklace. You said Rod, which is Merrick. The puzzle is Yu-Gi-Oh's. The eye is Pegasus's. You could have had the scales, which no one owns. It stayed in the vault. The Millennium Key, and then you have the Millennium Ring, which is Bakura's evil twin type one. So
okay, so 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, but no cigar. In the anime, who throws Exodia off the boat in Duelist Kingdom?
Who throws him off the boat?
Who throws the Exodia cards off the boat in Yu-Gi-Oh in Duelist Kingdom?
I don't know if I remember that.
It's the first ever episode.
I'm gonna guess Pegasus.
All right. The bloke is called Weevil. Weevil Underwood. He's a bug type.
Oh yeah, the
user.
glasses. Yeah, with the glasses, little prick.
All right.
I remember.
The card Pot of Greed lets you draw how many cards?
I think it's 2.
2 is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the maximum amount of cards you're allowed to have in your deck?
Oh fuck. I want to say 60.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, 60.
How many attack points does the Red Eyes Black Dragon have?
That's a good question. It's either 2,600 or it's 2,700. Let's see if I can visualize him. It's 2,000. Is it less than that? I think it's less than that actually. 2.5. I know this doesn't narrow it down, but it's either 4, 5, 6, or 7. Do you know what? I'm doubting myself now. I think it's lower than I thought. I'm going to say 2,400.
Yes, correct.
Is it?
Last question. What do I get if I use polymerization on Gaia the Fierce Knight and Curse of Dragon?
Gaia the Dragon Champion.
You, sir, have got a round total of 8 out of 10 on the Yu-Gi-Oh quiz.
I'm happy with
Pokemon, you have 9 out of 10. So, according to this quiz, which is completely random and made up by me yesterday, you have more Pokemon knowledge than you do Yu-Gi-Oh.
I would agree with that.
That's the end of the quiz.
That was good, mate. I actually enjoyed that. I'd like us to bring the quizzes back, actually, for sure. Because we started off the first season with all these quizzes, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy writing them as much as I do listening to you struggle. So I get a win-win there of it, really. Tune in for future quizzes.
Yeah, I'm going to quiz you next time. It's my turn to do a quiz. I might even bring back the old keyword countdown or something like that. We're agreeing Yu-Gi-Oh takes the card game. We're saying Pokemon takes the video games. And we're split on the anime.
Yes.
All right, so we've got to find a way to decide that then, mate. Because it's even Stevens in a minute.
You know how we can do it, don't you?
How's that?
It's time to do. We have to fucking bring in the Digimon.
Oh, that's what we should do, mate. We should do a live Yu-Gi-Oh battle. Yeah, so for people listening, go off on a bit of a tangent here. Yesterday, Tom recorded us having a little Soul Calibur battle, and we're going to try and revive the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that's on there. I'm going to try and get that up to date with the episodes as well. So apologies for that being so far behind.
No, I mean, it's going to be good. The YouTube channel is going to start lighting up. We're going to be doing weekly Soul Calibur battles. The structure might change. We might do sets. We might do one-on-one best of 3 with one character, or we might just do King of the Hill. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, keep an eye out for YouTube content coming up.
And let us know as well, let us know in the comments or on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. What do you prefer, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? Cheers for listening.